Welcome back to the Coins Information HD channel, fellow numismatists, collectors, and history enthusiasts. Today's video is going to be an exciting and informative deep dive into one of the most intriguing and often overlooked coins in modern American numismatics, the 1987 Washington quarter with no mint mark. What appears to be just another coin in your pocket change could potentially be a hidden gem, depending on a few crucial factors. From its historical background to minting quirks, potential rarities, collector demand, and market value in 2025, we will explore every detail about this coin. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and join us for the full story behind the 1987 no mint mark Washington quarter, a coin that might just be worth a lot more than 25 cents. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a staple in American coinage. The obverse, designed by John Flanagan, features the bust of George Washington, while the reverse depicted a majestic bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches underneath, a classic and symbolic image. Originally minted in 90% silver, the Washington quarter remained a silver coin until 1964. In 1965, due to rising silver prices and the increasing cost of producing circulating coinage, the United States Mint transitioned the quarter into a clad composition. This new format included a core of pure copper with outer layers of copper-nickel alloy, giving the coin its distinctive silvery appearance. Since then, the Washington quarter has undergone various changes in reverse design and minting techniques, but the 1987 issue still carried the traditional eagle reverse. A year before the bicentennial of the U.S. Constitution and well before the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. Let's talk about mint marks, or the lack thereof. A mint mark is a small letter on a coin that indicates the U.S. Mint facility where it was produced. For decades, coins from the Denver Mint bear the letter D, while those from the San Francisco Mint display an S. The Philadelphia Mint, the original U.S. Mint, typically did not use a mint mark until 1980, when it started placing a small P on some denominations. However, quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1987 did not include a mint mark. That means if you come across a 1987 Washington quarter without any letter on the obverse, just above the date, it was minted in Philadelphia. This was standard for that year. It's important to note that no mint mark does not mean it's a rare or error coin, at least not automatically. For 1987, quarters without a mint mark were deliberately struck that way. But this does not mean all 1987 no mint mark quarters are created equal. Now, let's take a closer look at the production numbers. In 1987, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. The Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 500 million quarters that year. Such a high mintage indicates that, in general, the 1987 quarter is not considered rare. It is quite common in circulation, especially in lower grades. However, what makes certain coins stand out, and thus become valuable, are not necessarily mintage figures alone, but a combination of condition, die quality, strike sharpness, and whether or not the coin has survived the decades without being circulated. The survival rate of uncirculated examples is much lower. Most 1987 quarters, like all coins, entered circulation shortly after production and suffered years of wear and tear. Finding an uncirculated specimen, especially one that is nearly perfect, is significantly harder than simply finding the coin itself. So what makes a 1987 no mint mark quarter potentially valuable? Let's go over the primary factors that influence value in the coin market. Point 1. Condition/grade. The single most important factor is the coin's condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS, or mint state, typically means it was never used in circulation. The higher the MS number, the more perfect the coin. A 1987 quarter in MS 60 to MS 63 condition may not bring in a premium much above face value. But coins that reach MS 65, MS 66, or even MS 67 start to become significantly more valuable. Coins at MS 67 are particularly rare, and only a very small number of 1987 quarters reach that level. Point 2. Eye appeal. Even within the same grade, eye appeal matters. Toning, luster, and strike quality can all make a difference in what a collector is willing to pay. A coin with brilliant luster and a sharp strike will attract more attention than a flat or dull example. Point 3. Rarity of high-grade coins are much harder to find for high mintage issues like this one. The vast majority of these coins were used in commerce and now exist in worn condition. Thus, finding a truly pristine example, especially one that is certified and slabbed by a grading service, is uncommon, and scarcity in top grades drives up value. Point 4. Errors and varieties. While the standard 1987 Philadelphia quarter is not rare, certain error coins can be valuable. These may include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other minting mistakes. If you happen to have a 1987 quarter with an unusual appearance, you may want to have it evaluated by an expert or submit it to a grading service for authentication and attribution. Now let's address an important distinction, that between proof coins and regular business strikes. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors. They are made using polished dies and planchets and struck multiple times to produce sharp details and a mirror-like finish. In 1987, proof quarters were struck only at the San Francisco Mint and carry the S Mint mark. If you have a 1987 quarter with an S Mint mark and a mirror-like finish, it is a proof coin, not a circulation coin. These are generally more valuable, especially in high grades. On the other hand, regular circulation coins like the Philadelphia, no mint mark version were intended for everyday use. As a result, many were poorly handled, and pristine examples are far more difficult to find in the wild. Now, let's talk dollars and cents. What is a 1987 no mint mark quarter actually worth today, in 2025? In most cases, a circulated 1987 quarter with no mint mark will be worth exactly 25 cents. It is extremely common, and unless there is something unusual about the coin, it holds no premium. However, if your coin is uncirculated and shows no signs of wear, it might be worth slightly more, perhaps $1 or $2, if sold to the right collector or at a coin show. Where things get truly interesting is in the realm of certified high-grade coins. A 1987 quarter graded MS-66 by a major grading company may sell for $30 to $70, depending on luster and strike. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are much rarer and may fetch $100 or more in the open market. Keep in mind that having a coin professionally graded and certified does involve cost, and unless the coin is truly exceptional, it may not be worth the grading. FEE.AS for proof coins from the same year, a 1987 S quarter in perfect proof, 70 deep cameo condition may be worth around $50 to $100 or more to the right buyer. If you've come across a 1987 no mint mark quarter and are wondering if it's valuable, here's a checklist to guide you. Inspect the coin under good lighting. Look for signs of wear on Washington's hair, cheekbones, and jawline. Check the reverse eagle's feathers for sharpness. Strong details suggest a better strike and possibly an uncirculated coin. Examine the coin for unusual features, doubling, cracks, off-center designs, or other striking errors. Compare it to online images of high-grade examples. Consider submitting the coin for grading only if you suspect it may grade MS-66 or higher. Otherwise, it may not be worth the expense. To summarize, the 1987 Washington quarter with no mint mark is a common coin in circulation, but under the right conditions, namely exceptional grade, stunning eye appeal, or rare mint errors, it can be worth much more than face value. Most of these coins will remain in the pockets, drawers, and jars of everyday Americans. But for the observant collector who knows what to look for, a small handful of these coins offer significant value. So the next time you're sifting through your change, don't overlook that unassuming 1987 quarter. It might be an ordinary piece of pocket change, or it might just be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Have you found a 1987 quarter in excellent condition? Have you ever submitted one for grading? Share your experiences with the community. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep your eyes open. Sometimes, history hides in the smallest places.